Hello everyone, hope you're fine. So here I am with my update, and I'm actually a little bit late, but I think you all will forgive me. That was actually intentional because this week, this past Tuesday, I was able to go and see him in person, and I thought it would be nice, to give the update to you all after I had done that. It was a really nice visit. I was able to go with my second son, and we spent the day. And Javed was just his normal, sweet, accommodating self. He actually drove to the airport to pick me up. He drove back, and, he did his best to kind of host me, even though I certainly was not expecting that, but I think he wanted to have as normal a visit as possible. But of course, we know normal at this point is not, fully possible, actually. Yeah. So, it was, I think the first thing that struck me was just how thin he is, and how much weight he's lost, which, leads me to my first kind of request for prayer for Javed. And this is a request coming directly from him, because I think he feels it and he sees it as well, and it's just a prayer surrounding his ability to eat and drink and keep food in. What he said to me is that it's painful to eat and drink. He doesn't want to eat or drink. There's no appetite. He doesn't feel hungry or thirsty. So he would obviously, I don't want to say force himself, but he will, he has his schedule and he knows he has to, get these calories in. So he does that. But even so, he can just do a little at a time, because essentially his body is fighting the intake of food and drink. And it shows, he's very thin. And I think, if we could get some of those calories in and staying down, work on his appetite, I think he would feel better. He would feel stronger. Get a little bit of meat on those bones. It's so funny, because half of us are trying to eat less, and it was a very interesting perspective for me to see what food and drink, how important it is. We almost look at food and drink as somehow our enemies, in this day and age. And it was very interesting for me to see, here he is saying, no, I want to, but somehow my body is rejecting it. Very, very interesting, very sobering. So please, when you think of Javed, say a prayer, just that appetite kicks into gear and he just craves food, and whatever food he does take in is able to stay down and just nourish his body. And so other than that, he's chugging along. Again, that's his phrase. He is currently on the 6th round of chemo right now. So yesterday he started it, so it's going to be Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And then what I'm hearing is that after the 7th round of chemo, he will do a scan. So they're going to take a look at that tumor again. And so we're hoping again that it has shrunk like it did with the first 4 rounds. Another thing to note that is a real positive is that he is now slated for September, October to visit the MD Anderson Cancer Center or Institute, whatever as the case might be, in Houston, and that for us is really a glimmer on the horizon. He told me the story of calling that line, and while he was on hold, a lot of times they'd play music or there's some kind of message or whatever, and the message was, we know all cancers and there's no cancer we have not seen. We are the cancer specialists. It's kind of what this message was saying, and I loved that. I loved that was exactly the message he heard while he was on hold. Because I don't know if you recall, but in my last update, I said, one of the kind of dark point, of this whole situation is that they still don't know what kind of cancer he's suffering from, what's causing it, where it's coming from, and so while on hold, just to have this voice say, there's no cancer we have not seen, I think it was exactly the words he needed to hear. So, personally, I'm really hoping that they can abide by that timeline, and that September, October, appointment or whatever as the case might be, for him to go there and have, this cancer institute take a look at this, and that the right team of people will get in and see this, and we can address it. Let's address it. If we know what we're fighting, we can fight it. I think there's still this element of kind of shooting in the dark, and kind of seeing, let's hope something works here. So let's really narrow in and let's target this thing, and that's almost also empowering. It's not that we're afraid of the battle, but let's know what we're fighting. So I like that, I try to keep it very positive. And so I like that that's happening. Just again, prayer for the food. Let's get him eating. Let's get his body strong. Let's get those calories in. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you so much. We feel the love and we feel the support. In terms of updates down the line, I will probably do so less frequent. I don't want to necessarily stick by the weekly updates, just because unless there's something really noteworthy or special or very interesting that I need to share, I think I will try to do more like once a month, and just to give you all the key highlights. So again, thank you so much. I'm sorry again that this video is so long. I wanted to really emphasize a few things. Take care.